The UFC put on a midnight showing of mid-card talent and it produced an absolute minimum of meaningful momentum for the fighters involved. Most notably, Sergey Spivak announced himself as the real force in the heavyweight division, demolishing Derrick Lewis in the first round. Otherwise, a few contracts go handed out for the promotion's first ever road to UFC finalists. Well, in this video, we are gonna talk about some fights that should happen after UFC Vegas 68. Sergey Spivak has sort of snuck his way to the success in the heavyweight division. Having started out his UFC career on the wrong foot, he's won 6 of his last 7 fights now, and 3 straight wins since a disappointing 2021 defeat at the hands of Tom Aspinall. While Lewis has had his share of setbacks, Daniel Cormier was the only other man to punish him so thoroughly for giving up easy takedowns. After the bout, Spivak called for a fight with John Jones. It's absolutely not a fight he's going to get, but can't blame the guy for wanting it. Fortunately, there are few strong options out there for him. Fights with Sergey Pavlovich or the winner of Volkov vs Romanov. Just because Pavlovich vs Blades feel like a much more natural booking to make, I would say Spivak should get the winner of Volkov vs Romanov fight. Sure, it's not the biggest fight possible, but another dominant showing there and he'll be firmly in the contenders circle. Derrick Lewis' top tier heavyweight days are likely truly over. He may hang around the top 10 or the top 15 for a while, but getting absolutely beasted by Spivak feels like such a statement. If Lewis can get KO'd by other big punchers and is starting to get handled by low-powered grinders, then puts him at a disadvantage in far too many high-level fights. Still, the UFC is bullish on keeping Lewis as a feature attraction, then I'm sure he'll keep getting name opponents for as long as he wants to keep fighting. In fact, that gives me an idea. There's one other man just hanging around the heavyweight division looking for entertaining name opponents, that is Andrei Arlovski. They have been fighting in the same place for nearly a decade now, and now the pitbull won't stick around forever. Lewis vs Arlovski seems like a fight that just needs to happen once before both men are done with the UFC or their career. It really feels like Marcin Tybura deserves something from the UFC in terms of a high-profile fight. The 37 years old has won 7 of his last 8 bouts. Even if they are not spectacular dominant wins, he's put together a run. The bout against Ivanov felt like a decided step back after beating Alexander Romanov last August. Following this win, he called out Jairzinho Rozenstruik. It's not exactly a title eliminator, but with Rozenstruik coming off a good win over Chris Daukaus and without another bout already booked, it seems like a smart call. The other options would be Tai Tuivasa or Jailton Almeida, and neither of those feel like an especially great fit instead. Marcin Tybura vs Jairzinho Rozenstruik is a perfectly good fight if both men are down for it. A crushing first round win for Tatsuro Taira. Honestly, it happens so rarely that it feels kinda surprising to see the UFC bring the top Japanese prospect along slowly like this. It's not that Taira's been taking steps back, but his first 3 UFC bouts have all felt like sideways moves for a kid who came up from the regional circuit with a resume built on a strong veteran talent. If the UFC wants to continue down that path, then a fight with Bruno Santos or Tyson Nam would be great options. If the UFC really wants to give Taira a step up, then fight with Tim Elliott would be really fun. Elliott has positioned himself as something of a gatekeeper to the top 15 over the years. Seems like a prime chance for him to try and stop another prospect's run. Tim Elliott vs Taira would be a fun flyweight battle for all of us to watch. These were just my personal opinions about the fights that make sense after UFC Vegas 68. If you have some other options or fights in your mind that make sense after UFC Vegas 68, please let me know in the comment section. And if you liked the video, make sure to hit the subscribe button and stick with the channel for more fighting related updates.